So I've had a lot of requests over the last several months to do a top mobile and Android MMORPGs video. The mobile gaming market is growing at an unprecedented rate, faster than any other gaming platform has in the past. This could be because mobile games are more accessible, being able to take them out with you on the bus, while you're at work, to school, when you're spending your alone time on the toilet. Oh, that last one's just me. It could be that there are just a significantly larger amount of games made for mobile devices these days. They're cheaper, they're easier to create, and faster to push out. This ultimately results in a faster return on investment, and you know how money-hungry companies get. Especially Eastern ones, where the majority of mobile MMORPGs originate from. So with this in mind, I deemed now, after reaching 100,000 subscribers, as appropriate a time as any to make a compilation of the best mobile and Android MMORPGs on the market. Let's kick this off with a new one. Alchemia Story is a newly released anime-inspired MMORPG released in July 2018 by Avabel. The game had a ridiculously large audience back in Japan, and after playing it myself, I can understand why that was. The character creation in Alchemia Story was better than most anime-inspired PC MMORPGs, but that isn't all the game has going for it. If you're a fan of games like Blade and Soul or Guild Wars 2 that have large yet instanced zones, then you'll love that Alchemia Story incorporates that very feature as well. The game is an open world, but the zones are quite expansive and plentiful. Combat is unique in so that it takes on the form of an instant turn-based battle akin to older JRPGs. Black Desert Mobile is the mobile port of the incredibly popular PC game of the same name released in South Korea in February 2018 and releasing globally this year. Black Desert Mobile has by far the best graphics in a mobile MMO, and Pearl Abyss bring their top-tier action combat from the PC version over with it, offering what is generally considered the best combat in a mobile game. Character creation is comparable to the PC version, offering a different UI, but generally the same features with which to craft your character. Expect to spend hours in character creation. The game offers the same classes and familiar areas to explore, while also bringing with it the non-combat activities people loved, such as crafting, sailing, and resource gathering, along with, the AFK simulator, fishing. And while there is no word on whether or not it will be pay to win, something a lot of mobile MMOs fall victim to, and BDO has been accused of being in the past, I guess we can only hope for the best. Next up, we have the highly rated Avabel Online. It's an older MMORPG released by Avabel way back in February 2013. Unlike most MMO games out of Japan, Avabel is actually much more of a 3D MMO, like something out of a Final Fantasy game, if, Final Fantasy games were released in 360p. The game actually became Avabel's flagship title in the West as one of the best received and most downloaded mobile MMORPGs of the last several years, having over 5 million total players at one point. The character creation in Avabel is actually pretty limited, unfortunately, especially when you compare it to games released in the last year or two, but hey, good character creation doesn't make for a good game. Avabel is set in a semi-open world with thousands of other players to play alongside in action combat, like Black Desert, yeah, just, if it were made in like 2004. You're also able to customize your character quite extensively, given that you're capable of putting stat and skill points in, and as an Eastern MMO, you can be damn sure there are a lot of outfits. Like Black Desert Mobile, Aura Kingdom Mobile, or Aura Kingdom M, whichever you want to refer to it as, is a mobile port of the PC MMORPG Aura Kingdom, published by X-Legend in March 2018. The game utilizes an anime-inspired graphical style and looks like a 480p version of Aura Kingdom if Aura Kingdom were 720p as a comparison. Aura Kingdom M is touted as being a full-fledged MMORPG, stating that they have everything you're looking for in an MMORPG, such as classes, talent trees, instances, mounts, crafting, PvP, and more packed into a mobile game. The game has a large world to explore, however, it doesn't seem nearly as open as its PC counterpart, which is unfortunate as exploring large open environments are one of my favorite things to do. Character creation is also more limiting than its PC version as well, giving you a reduced amount of customization options, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't offer you much in the way of customization. They're just locked behind earning them in-game and through the cash shop. I swear this isn't an advertisement for Avabel, but Izanagi is nonetheless a post-apocalyptic samurai-themed MMORPG published by Avabel in April 2015. Its graphical style is reminiscent of Avabel, a 3D MMO, not anime-inspired like most of Avabel's games, but the designer is actually the very same guy that designed Afro Samurai, and it shows. Again, like Avabel, Izanagi utilizes action combat, probably a little more refined than Avabel's, honestly. Samurai-themed MMORPGs have never really been my thing though, but they definitely capture the ninja samurai fantasy theme here. Character creation is rather limited, just like in Avabel. Additionally, the game, like Alchemia Story, has large instanced zones that are separated by loading screens, which isn't a problem. Loading screens help mobile MMOs load faster after all. Its population isn't as large as half the other games listed here, but that is because Izanagi is more of a niche MMORPG. I know, Dragon Nest Mobile has yet to officially release in the West yet, but it does have an expected release date for 2018, maybe 2019 at the latest. So with that in mind, I believe this is worth mentioning, if even just so people are made aware of it. What is known about Dragon Nest Mobile thus far is that it is an upcoming free-to-play 3D mobile action MMORPG that ports over pretty much everything from Dragon Nest's PC version. We can therefore expect the same high-quality combat system and similar dungeons to play through while being met with familiar characters and areas. What makes this worth noting, however, is that Dragon Nest Mobile isn't just a normal port, it's being completely reinvented. That's why I believe it's worth mentioning. And back we go to Asobimo and their anime MMORPGs. Toram Online is one of their most popular to date. Being released way back in May 2015, it has somehow retained an absolutely huge player base. The game is open world, but the combat's actually point and click. This makes it a little difficult and cumbersome, but it's a combat style I've never really made use of. Character creation is actually quite expansive, giving you access to a large amount of hair customizability, much more than is traditionally found in mobile or even PC MMORPGs. Graphically, Toram is probably the next best looking after Alchemia Story in terms of mobile anime MMOs. Additionally, unlike most MMORPGs, Toram doesn't really present players with the option to choose a class. You're given access to various weapon types and you choose how you want to play. That's it. Toram is probably one of the better mobile MMOs out there if just for the character customization alone. I had to list this here because I am a huge fan of Sword Art, and we as an MMO community have VR MMOs to look forward to in the future. So naturally, any sane person would include Sword Art in their list, right? Sword Art Online Integral Factor was published by Bandai Namco in March 2018 and is an instanced anime-inspired mobile MMORPG adapted from the novels and anime series. Character creation wasn't bad, granted it's no South Korean MMO character creator, but we were able to customize a pretty good looking character. The game is instanced off, much like pretty much every other mobile MMORPG listed here, but that doesn't detract from a game that just feels like you're playing the anime itself. Graphically, Integral Factor may be one of the best looking Japanese mobile MMORPGs released to date. It also features action combat, and it's quite good even. You have hundreds of skills and actual weapon proficiency to make combat worth more than just grinding for the sake of grinding. This one is actually rather unique. Stellacept Online is another Asobimo MMORPG, but it's actually inspired by what seems to be Phantasy Star Online. The resemblances are actually uncanny. Stellacept Online was released in July 2015, so back when Toram was released, but doesn't unfortunately look nearly as good. At least, speaking for the terrain. Character models, on the other hand, look alright. Graphically, for a mobile game, Stellacept looks great. Its graphics are pretty high quality, it's completely 3D, and it's set in an open world. Like Toram, it also features point-and-click combat though, which I know can be somewhat of a burden to players. Character creation was pretty well done as well, offering quite a selection to choose between to customize your character. Stellacept is probably the only sci-fi MMORPG on mobile devices that is active and is worth playing in any capacity. Crusaders of Light is a 3D mobile MMORPG published by NetEase in April 2017. It had a Steam launch recently where they overhauled a few things, but the mobile version is where the game excels. Graphically, Crusaders of Light looks fantastic. There aren't really too many mobile MMORPGs that look as good as it does. Unfortunately, there doesn't really seem to be any form of character creation in the game, although I have seen people with different outfits on, so I believe there is some form of customization in-game. The combat is action combat and probably has some of the best action combat for a mobile MMORPG at that. I mean, not up to par with something like Black Desert, sure, but a solid second, maybe third best in this list. It is definitely more limiting than most mobile MMOs in this list, but the fact that the game is inspired by World of Warcraft and it looks like this, man, it's worthy of being in any top 10 mobile games list. Now, we all have our own opinions on what game is best, and you're welcome to that opinion. That is why I opted not to number any of these games, because honestly, what is best for me isn't necessarily best for you, and it would be arrogant and just asinine of me to assume my opinion is any more valid than yours. With that being said, this video is my opinion in its entirety, so while you're welcome to disagree with what games should be listed here, please remember that at the end of the day, it is only my opinion. Now, What mobile MMORPGs are you playing, and what do you find to be the best? Was it something I listed, or was it something I missed? Let me know in the comments below, as I would love to find out. And that is a wrap. I look forward to seeing you all next time. Peace. Thank you for sitting through my top mobile and Android MMORPGs video. If you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to my channel over here, checking out another video, or following me on Twitter at ByteSticks to just chat or hang out.